because we couldn't manage ours. We didn't do the work on ours. And I guess that's probably the main message of the weekend and why I do this work and why I live it's not just this work, guys, it's living the lifestyle that I live. Like I get messages from smoking weed and all that sort of stuff. I guess it definitely plays a part in, there's always a downside to something. Welcome to another episode of Planting Seeds with Soul. Raw conversations on transformation, truth, and finding light in the darkest places. You may not hear what you want, but you will definitely hear what you need. Alrighty, welcome back, brothers and sisters. Hope everyone's been well. It's a bit of a different podcast this morning. I'm by myself. I've got to talk to. I'm talking to all you guys, but I haven't got like Kels here or anyone to have a conversation with. So it's a bit different, but it's all good. I hope you don't mind. I've got myself a cup of tea here and actually some raisin toast. My guts are a little bit funny. I just need to put some food in my gut, so I hope you don't mind. I'm going to have a bit of a chew. Listening to people eat used to actually send me absolutely fucking bonkers. I used to see red with it. It used to bring a lot of rage, but I created something within me. Like that was something that used to trigger me, but I realized that I created something within me, so I needed to go and investigate that and see what the fuck was going on. So that sort of shit doesn't bother me. So if it does trigger you and you start to see red and want to murder my face, just self-investigate that trigger and nut it out. I'd be doing you a favor, showing you to you. Anyway, what are we going to talk about this morning? I've got shit laid out everywhere in front of me here. Wow, Kels is sick actually at the moment. Kels is sick, and that's why I'm by myself. Got home yesterday, and actually one thing I will share that popped into my mind earlier. I want to share a bit more of the parts of myself that I'm not proud of. I guess the shadows and things that I'm working on, because I think it's important to share those things and face that stuff, and be honest with it, because the truth will set you free. And if you're not aware of it, if you don't share it, what am I doing here? I don't think we can heal from it. So yeah, I got home yesterday. Kels is crook, and honestly, I had such a good weekend. I went out and done ayahuasca, had a ceremony, sat with myself and figured some shit out. I'll go into a little bit of detail with you, share a couple of things that I experienced. But yeah, I was on the way home, was feeling real good. It was a good weekend, and got home, and Kels is crook. She told me she was crook, but I walked in the house and there's just Halo had a golden retriever. She brought fucking shit all through the house, and Kels being sick, she has the house Mickey Mouse when I come back from these things, but there was some things to do, and honestly, I went back into this mode that I go into, which it doesn't fucking matter. It is what it is. At the end of the day, just deal with it. Fuckwit. But yeah, I started to I guess find myself and observe myself, starting to get like I was feeling overwhelmed and bit pissed off, bit yucky, and I had a lot of things to do, a lot of people to get back to. And the boys were coming over. They were coming back from their dads, but I said, look, can you just ask him to have them for one night? We have them all the time anyway. So, they want to spend more time with their father as well, to be honest, like, fuck. But besides the point, I got pissed off and I called myself out on that. I observed it, and it wasn't long. It's fucking no one's fault. Like, I am in this situation regardless. Like, bitching and moaning don't do fuck all at the end of the day. We can bitch and moan, but we just got to understand that it actually does nothing. We should just let go of things as our right straight away. The things that we can't control, just observe it and work on it. But it didn't take me long to get out of that mode, and I had my mate Zach come over. He's a Sparky. He's been doing a bit of work in the studio, doing the Sparky work. He's an amazing Sparky, actually. By the way, if I remember, I'll try and put his Instagram up if you're ever looking for a good Sparky. He's a good bloke too. So I had him come over, and I sort of just because I had a lot of things in my mind, I had this plan in my head to do. It's sort of okay. That's what it was. That plan got fucking destroyed, and I'm trying to teach myself not to make plans at the end of the day, not to have structure, to live life like a jellyfish. That's one of my teachings that I try and remember within myself. It's how I want to live life, and I think it's the way we should live life. It puts and it brings a lot of adventure to life, and that's living life like a jellyfish. I had this. It was at the dark point of my journey when I was coming off the meth, and I was having all these spiritual experiences, and I started to do things, put things in place in my life to better myself. And one of those was, going for walks and all that sort of thing. I started off slow, and anyway, I was walking on the beach, and I literally had to hop over like hundreds of jellyfish, and I was like, I wonder what that means. Why am I seeing these things? I'm seeing them for a reason. Like, this is a message. Like, when I see things as a sign, like I'm like, yeah, that's a message. Like synchronicities, triple digits, anything that's a sign to you. Yeah. So the jellyfish is definitely, I felt that as a message. So I looked it up, and I found out that the jellyfish is, something in this world, like a creature. I guess I don't even know what the proper label is for it. Who gives a fuck anyway? But it's a creature in this world that completely surrenders to the universe. It completely surrenders to the ocean currents and trusts that the ocean currents / universe will take it to the place that it needs to be. And I was like, holy fuck, that's beautiful. I want to live my life like that. So it's something that I put within myself, and I create these things. I remove things and I create things. It's my fucking show. And I want you guys to understand that it's important. It's your show at the end of the day. You have dominion over your mind, and you set things up the way that you want to set things up, Set things up for good, set things up for evil. You write the story anyway, but yeah, fuck, I don't even really know where I was going with that. But, oh yeah, the jellyfish thing. That's right. So yeah, that was a good message, and yeah, just wanted to start living life, I guess, a bit more free and all that sort of thing. I'm just gonna have a little nibble of this toast. Oh, I fully forgot where I was going with that. My mind wanders, as you all know. Oh, yeah. Anyway, let's just go on to something else. Yeah. So the weekend was good. Came back, and just observing the way that it was. It's a powerful thing. Like, I go on these weekends and hold this space for myself, and try and like be as honest with myself as I possibly can. I go and do all these things because it's the thing that absolutely it shows me things. It shows me the right way. Like, I go and do these ceremonies and stuff because it shows me how corrupted our minds are. And I'd rather trust a plant medicine, an ancient plant medicine, with that, than a corrupted person, because, we are all born into a world, and, I think we're born into this world. We already carry certain things from past lives, things that we haven't evolved from, and stuff like that. And especially from, when we're born into this reality as a baby, we're born as a blank canvas, and then, we start to have all these things imprinted on us along our whole journey, and it honestly, it molds us into a person, into this thing, that we don't want to be at the end of the day. To be honest with you, like they're corrupt systems. Like have a look at the world that we live in. Look at the things that we go through. Look at all the division in the world, the separation, the war, the poverty. It just opens you up to all that bullshit, you know, like it gives you the truth, and that truth comes within yourself. Like the medicine works in really mysterious ways, you know what I mean? Like what would be a good thing to share from this weekend? Okay. So this is something that I come across that was so profound, and so powerful. And this came from just going out and doing this experience, you know what I mean? What happened was that, so the first night, just going to write this down so I don't forget. Yeah, so the first night, went and sat with the medicine, and not too much happened. I, well, a lot happened actually, but I was very confused by the experience. I guess the main thing that was shit about it was I went into the experience and had all these expectations. I wanted it to go a certain way. I wanted to discover certain things and work on certain things. But it didn't. It just confused me even more than what I already was, because I'm at a very, I've got a lot going on at the moment. I've chosen to put myself into a lot of things like this podcast and the retreats, and I've got the family, and I'm working in construction. I've got the fucking high vis right here. I've got to go. So I'm running off 2 hours sleep too. I was trying to get back to people all last night, but yeah, it's just fucking real busy. But I didn't get what I expected, and I was very confused, and I've been very, very confused lately, and I was like, fuck, I'm just going to go home after this. I'm just walking you through the a couple of things that leading up to this experience at the moment. So yeah, I was very confused. The next morning I woke up and I was still confused, and I was spewing, I was upset. I was bummed out by not getting what I wanted. Like a selfish little kid, like a spoiled little brat. Like with the corrupted mind that I had, such is life. You should just be with the present moment and observe it for what it is, because it's trying to tell you something. And I forgot that, and I attached to that expectation, and I forgot. I forgot at the end of the day. But what I realized was when I was sitting down by the creek in the morning, because I go and have a swim by the waterfall every morning when I wake up, to try and process what I witnessed, observed, and learnt, and why things unfolded the way that they did. And I realized, like, this thought came in when I was sitting by the creek, sitting by the waterfall, and it was like, have you not learnt nothing, Corey? Have you fucking not learnt nothing? You're chasing down this thought of why did these things happen, instead of just sitting with it and just being and just accepting it for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, stop feeding it. Stop giving it so much power. Just be patient. You know what I mean? The answers are going to come. They're just going to come. They always come when you least expect it. And it reminded me to surrender and trust, just like the jellyfish thing. And anyway, I wanted to go home. I was actually about to go home, but anyway, I obviously didn't. I I ended up choosing. I had this discussion within my mind, and I was observing it. Because I'm practicing being present more, and just observing that world within of thought, feeling, and power. The mind, and I'm also just observing everything unfold in the world, just being as present as I can, so I can nut it out. But yeah. Anyway, Fuck, I'm a bit messy. I am so messy today, guys. I'm so sorry. I knew this was going to happen. I knew last night was stupid staying up so fucking late, and it's actually fucking rattled me doing this. But anyway, so I was spewing, wanted to go home, chosen to not go home, and ended up like we were sitting with the ayahuasca for 2 nights, so I still have one more night. You know what I mean? Anyway, before the ceremony started, there was this bloke, and this is how the medicine works in mysterious ways, and how you've always got something to learn from everything that you experience. You know, everything that you experience. That's other people, other things. You just got to be, like I was talking about before, be present to witness these things, to learn from these things. If you're not present, if you're caught up in that fucking in the past and the future or fucking whatever, if you're not truly present, then you cannot see these things unfold. And when you understand that, certain things transform in your life. So what this thing was for me was, there's this bloke that I was sitting next to, Mitch, and he came up to me before the ceremony, and this isn't coming, like, this is coming from the medicine, obviously. It lives in us all, but all the time, actually. I believe even when you haven't had the medicine, it still lives in you. The medicine calls you, so it's connected to something within you, obviously, and everything is one at the end of the day, I believe. So the medicine was working through this guy called Mitch. The universe was working through this guy called Mitch at this point, and he came up to me. There's something that I fully missed as to why this unfolded too. This is my mind trying. You think it's fucking messy? How do you think I feel? I'm the one that's got to deal with it all day. In the sharing, I just shared how I was feeling presently, and how I was feeling presently was, sorry, how I was feeling presently at the moment was, I've been feeling disconnected from the boys, been feeling a bit disconnected from myself. Just a bit disconnected. I'm going through a bit of a funky period in life, and I've got a lot of just fucking busy, man. Like, I feel like I haven't got room to breathe at the moment, but some things had shifted with the kids, and some things had unfolded in certain ways. Nothing major, but the boys came back after something one weekend, and yeah, things had just shifted, and they're back chatting Kels a lot. They're looking at me like when I was trying to tell them that things weren't on, like they were back chatting saying no, like I'm not doing it. Just being like, it was a bit smart alecky, and I just felt this feeling like the boys had like that disconnection, and didn't love us, and all that sort of thing, and to be honest, it really hurt. And I was wondering why are the boys acting like this? Like, why are things going this way? Because it causes tension everywhere. It causes tension between Kels and I. Obviously, the pressure on myself, and then work, and it's just everything in life. And I know everyone. I'm talking about this because it's something everyone can relate to. Everyone sort of goes through this fucking type of shit. Um, so I was feeling very disconnected, very unloved. But that's all my shit within me. It's needed to look at that for myself. But anyway, I expressed that, and I shared that in the sharing circle. The morning after the ceremony, and I was very vulnerable. I cried a fair bit, which is no drama for me. I don't mind crying in front of people, and just like speaking to, like, this is me right now. Like, I had thoughts, to be honest with you, of starting the podcast again when things got messy and I lost my mind, where it goes and that sort of thing. But fuck it, whatever. I just want to, it's real and raw conversations for a reason. Just got to keep it that way. um. So yeah. Anyway, I think I can go on to the bit now where after expressing myself and being vulnerable in that sharing circle to everyone with my raw honesty, like speaking from the heart, the next night, Mitch obviously listened to that share and he came up to me and he goes, "Hey, can I just mention or ask you a couple of things?" He goes, "Powerful, powerful share, by the way. Like it's everyone comes up and is so supportive of your vulnerability, and they give you a pat on the back and they let you know like how powerful it was. Like they're really uplifting people. And Mitch, appreciate you, brother, fucking legend. It's solid stuff doing this for people." He goes, "Mate, that vulnerability you showed in the sharing circle." He goes, "Do you show that vulnerability to the kids? That type of vulnerability?" And I was like, "Fucking hell, no. No, I don't. This fucking toast is cold." Not good. So much butter, but so nice. And I was like, wow. Like I already knew his point. And he went on to explain it more, you know what I mean? Like obviously I'm obviously not afraid to be vulnerable in front of people there in that sharing circle with the retreats that I do. I'm not afraid to be vulnerable. Like I share my truth in a sharing circle. Like I'm honest with Mitch Curry, who I do it with. I'm honest with everyone there. I am honest with my partner. Completely honest with my partner. Obviously I've figured out there's some parts of myself that I'm not honest with still. That's quite obvious. But, like I could be in, at work in the civil game in construction, and, if I was doing a talk with the boys and something struck something in my heart, like I got no drama crying in front of however many men and women or whatever, and there is there. But there was this blind spot that when it come to the kids, like what the fuck was I doing? Like I'm trying, like Mitch didn't say it in this way, but like if you love your kids, and you and you're this type of person that supports sharing and men talking up and women talking up and whatever and talking up and sharing your truth to set you free in whatever raw and real way that is. Why aren't you doing that with the kids? Like they look up to you, they absorb everything that you do, that you say, your actions, all of it, your words. So, instead of like getting angry, which I do at times, and it's something that I work on, and I think we all do. Things, set us off, and we've got to understand that everything is our teacher, especially our loved ones, like our partners and our kids. Like they're showing us to us at the end of the day. Like that's something I know within myself, and allows me to work on myself in a very deep level when I get triggered. So why wasn't I? Why wasn't I expressing to them like my true emotions? Like obviously if I'm angry, I let them know that I'm getting angry, they shouldn't be doing it. But like if like them making me feel that disconnection, they're making me feel unloved, like yeah, it made me upset. And why aren't I sort of showing that upsetness, whatever you want to put it, fucking at towards them? Like if I feel upset enough to a point that my kids are hurting me or hurting Kels or hurting themselves or hurting anyone, like why can't I show my why can't I cry in front of them? Like why am I this raw and open and vulnerable person to everybody else online, work, out there, in the retreats, in everything else, but not my kids? I realize that I wanted them to see me as a as a strong person, as a not weak man, and for some reason I still had this program in me. I saw this program in me that was telling the story that it's not, that I've got to be tough in front of them by way of not showing that side of me, not letting them see me upset because I think it's weak to cry. But I know it's not weak to cry. There's just this little condition with them. But if they're absorbing everything that I do, then I've got to let them know that it's okay to be upset, and it's okay to feel. It's not okay to hurt people. You know, they're mean to each other. Those little fuckers. They really are sometimes. It's hard to not get angry when they're constantly being mean to each other, but it's really difficult. But it's important to, I think the message there is it's very important to be vulnerable in front of your kids, because if we want them to be vulnerable, if we want them to share and talk about their feelings, so they don't end up as another, I don't talk statistics, but talk as like another number, lost to the system by way of fucking suicide, or by way of taking drugs, or just falling into the wrong thing because they can't manage their thoughts because we couldn't manage ours. We didn't do the work on ours. And I guess that's probably the main message of the weekend, and why I do this work, and why I live it's not just this work, guys, it's living the lifestyle that I live. Like, like I get messages from smoking weed and all that sort of stuff. I guess it definitely plays a part in, there's always a downside to something. There's always a negative and a positive, and a positive and a negative. Helps me out way more than gives me a lot more creativity, and helps me dissolve old programs. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing at the end of the day. It's the hardest thing to do in this life. That type of, the way that I live my lifestyle, the work that I do with the medicine, and the work that I do with the retreats is is just my way of being of service. You know what I mean? It allows me to do that. It's called doing the work. Like I'm doing the work in my own way. Like I'm really trying to detach from as many toxic things as possible, that this world has out there, that they want us to consume and shit. So, that's why I do that. And yeah, it was a really, really good weekend. I fucking seen some shit, eh? Like, it was that second night after Mitch said that, like I was so uplifted from that, and I'm like, oh fuck, I've got my message. Like, that's my weekend. Like, that's more than enough. That helps me on a certain level with the kids, like I couldn't even imagine. Like, that's that's something no therapist or psychologist could have done. That's been fucking taught by the system and only trusts the theories of the system and hasn't actually had lived experience. Do you know what I mean? I've got there's therapists and psychologists out there, but they've got to have an open mind. You know what I mean? I think that I think everybody should experience the experience, and see actually what the plants do by way of deprogramming certain things. It's like a fast forward. It's like a fast forward. It gets rid of things that other things can't. And yeah, it's I really, I knew I was in for a good night after I had a chat with Mitch, and he spoke to me. Fucking, I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, I knew I was in for a good night, and I certainly did. After I put a bit of a prayer out there. I meditated. I said to the medicine before I took my first drink, I'm like, please, please take, because this shit's full on. Like, it can be fucking full on. It shows you it brings up your darkest shit to the surface. Sometimes it puts you through some serious stuff, but it's stuff that you need to go through. You must go through. You go through the things, and this is why I was disappointed. I didn't get what I wanted. I got what I needed. I held on to expectation, but I experienced some stuff that was more real than I've ever experienced. Words can't even put it into. Words can't even put it in. You can't, there's no words for it. Like there is, but it's something that you have to go experience for yourself. I can't even do a way of explaining it because there's no words for it. If I was to put words for it, and I've said it before, it's like a fast forward little cheat code. Like we are fucking up the world, guys. We're fucking up the world. Like the plants are like we need them to survive. We're just ripping the guts out of this fucking earth that's alive too. And plants are we feed them, they feed us at the end of the day. Like we are them and they are us. Like we need them for survival. And if we're fucking wiping all of that natural stuff out, they're gonna fucking step into line because they're conscious and they send messages and they communicate in their certain ways. Like this isn't something science can like teach me. This is something a knowing within me teaches me, and something that I experience with the medicine. Of course they're going to step into place and find ways to communicate with us, and that's exactly what they do with me, and they're trying to communicate with us to give us messages to save ourselves from ourselves, because what we're doing to ourselves is in turn, fucking them up too, because we are them, but we're doing things and living life in a certain way that's so uneven and so fucking twisted and sick that it's got to stop. And they're trying to fucking tell us this, and they tell us this through, way of magic mushrooms. They tell us this way through, all types of, natural things, like pure types of consciousness, like earth, water, air, and fire, the sun. Like you can find it in those natural places. So they're stepping into trying to tell us to make this world a better place, and the things that we need to work on within ourselves to make that actually happen. And like at the end of the day, if you want to strip everything back, it's love. It's love. That's actually good. I don't usually like raisin toast. I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon. 33 minutes. Always see 33. That's how I know I'm on the right path. Even when life's messy, I know I'm on the right path. Where was I there? Yeah, so that's a big message that I get with it. They're stepping into place and they give us messages to work on ourselves. And at the end of the day, it's love. We've got to love ourselves. Like, have a look at your life and ask yourself, like, when you do certain things in the situations and you're in, like, if I love myself truly and deeply, and I love others, like I am about the love and light, and you got to accept the darkness. Darkness is there, but if you are about love and you want the best for yourself and everyone, like you got to ask yourself, if I love myself, would I really be doing this? Would I really be choosing this? Would I really be eating this? Would I really be gossiping about this, watching this, smoking this? Like, fuck. We are all doing something presently that is not good, that we need to work on. We're all going through shit. We've all got our shadows, we've all got our darkness, and we've all got our things to transform and evolve from and heal from. They're all the same thing. And that's what the powerful thing is about this medicine. Like, I'm starting to realize that, because the world is so divided and uneven, like I am realizing that I am wanting actually the best for everyone. Like, for example, when I see like what they call a shooting star come across the sky, which I'm seeing a lot of regularly because I'm up so early, Whether that is a shooting star, I don't know. Don't act like you do know, because tell me if you've actually observed it in the present moment, or is it just a story that you've heard? Um, I make a wish when I see these things. When I see these shooting stars, and what I wish for is not something just for myself. I like usually wish for all beings to be freed of suffering and pain, which is, I think, such a powerful program. To reprogram from just looking after yourself, because when you just look after yourself, everyone else loses. You got to share the love. That's what I'm trying to do more of lately. You'll see that in me a lot more too. Regardless of whatever I do, everyone's got their opinions and don't agree with people on certain things. But regardless of whatever I do in my life, um, I do know that I always lead back to love at the end of the day. Like, that's where home is. And that's the way that I'm always going to live my life, even when I do slip up and get confused and lost on my journey. I always remember to come back home a lot quicker than usual. And like, I've knocked off certain things that are great. I don't snort coke anymore. I'm not fucking on the pipe. I've been off the piss for, I actually don't even know now. It's probably like 3 months, give or take. So I'm killing it. And in myself, I'm proud of myself. And if you're if you're working on certain things too, I want you to be proud of yourself too. Like, actually give yourself that moment right now. Well, I have a bite of toast. Give it to yourself right now. I'm not just saying it, I'm telling you to do it. Close your eyes. Actually do that. Close your eyes, please. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Another deep breath through your nose and out your mouth, please. Now another deep breath through your nose and out your mouth with a big sigh at the end. I want you to take this moment to just be. Where did you used to be? Those already lived moments, where have you come from? However far back you need to go, you go. And open your heart fully to whatever needs to arise in this moment. And just be. Just be. Now, where are you presently? Don't judge. If you're in a worse spot presently, just know that all things pass and you're right where you need to be. But even so, look how far you've come. Look at what you've been through. The pain that you've been through, you've worked through, or going through right now. Let it sit with it. That's what you call tough. You're still here giving it a crack. you're still here. You've still got time to choose different, to improve, to just be. Realise there's people out there that are getting stripped of that right now. Wars and famine and rape and genocide and putrid fucking shit going on. Realise that deeply and where you are right now. Things aren't bad. Things adjust. Things adjust. Happening. Be grateful for where you are. Be more giving while also receiving. We need to reconnect with each other and with ourselves. And with ourselves. Hold that gratitude for a moment and just sit with it. Shit. Sorry. Don't judge it, just sit with it still. It's just a happening. And slowly just bring yourself back. I just thought I'd just roll into that. So if you joined us in on that, sort of like the first time I've done something like that, I thought I'd just gift you with something real and something that I do as well. Fucking can be worse. Fuck, I better. Is it that time? Oh fuck, I thought I had to be. I told work I'm going to go in at 10. Holy shit, 6 o'clock. I start at 6:30. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been a bit of a fucking weird podcast because I want to try and keep these consistent because I know there's regular listeners and like to be honest, it's pretty wild the podcast scene. Like the podcast is actually making its way. Like I'm not about charts and shit like that. It is Australia's number one podcast to me, regardless of what it is. But it's actually making its way there from just calling it in. Calling it as Australia's number one podcast, even though it's not, it's not there yet. It is going to be there, even when it's not there. Like I believe it. Like it's you got to call things in. You got to be so confident. Hey, I'm realizing that like the only times things have worked for me in my life is when I've like stepped into uncomfortability and faced that fear and just been so confident on myself. Like when Kels and I went to get this house, I knew and felt so confident that we were getting it. There was no way that it could fail. There was heaps of ways that it could, but I knew it wasn't going to, and we got it. So yeah. So it's been a bit of a weird one. This one, eh? I think Kels is getting up or Halo's getting up, but what else was there, guys? What else was there? Thanks for being patient with me this morning too. I've got like all of my thoughts. I've done my gratitude this morning. There, I've got a lot of thoughts down at the moment. I might just give you what I've got here for the remainder of the of the podcast. This is my gratitude from this morning, so I might share that with you. I'm very blessed to have been a part of this the past weekend's experience down south, to experience something more real than what I have ever imagined. I give so many thanks. Here we go. So what I am talking about there is and it's something that you got to experience for yourself. But this is an experience that I had. Was the experience was so deep and ancient. Like I was seeing a lot of fucking ancient sort of symbols, like Egyptian symbols, and I was sort of observing that and sort of trying to figure out what it meant. And it was really in my face. This certain woman looked like an Egyptian sort of princess from back in the day, like what you'd picture on a movie that you see or see in, like, history books or whatever. But anyway, this really crazy moment was when I went outside. I actually went out to the fire. The fire was doing some fucking proper hissing shit. Like, it was crazy what was going on with that. But I looked up at the night sky at one point and the stars, because there's no light pollution out there, the stars, I was seeing life up there. Like, we are, and I can confidently say this, like, we are not alone. Like, our lenses, like what we see is it's limited. It is so limited. Like, there is so much more out there. And I got a peek for a few hours. The night sky was just lit up with life. Like, there was lines between the stars. There was things moving between stars, things moving in all different types of directions. And I don't know, it looked like to me what would look like a brain neural network. It was like as above, so below type thing. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I'm just you only get to have the deep experiences I've found when you fully surrender and let go, and you just literally become the observer, because all you're allowed to do is observe in these moments. You're allowed to bring back some things, and some things you're just like, fuck. You went through something deeper, but it's, you sort of lose it. But yeah, I'm like, fuck, man, we are not alone in this universe. Like, and I'm like, fucking, it feels like really funky times, like something huge is on the way too, like with this collective awakening and everything that's going on in the world. Like, there is a deep purge in the world, and when deep purges happen, like, and it looks like all destruction and chaos. That's when things are born. You know what I mean? So something's coming. That's my personal opinion. And whatever it is, so it is, you know what I mean? Like, don't be scared of it. Just react to it with love, and all will be well. Be true. Don't keep separating yourself. I think we work as a team here. Get back to that tribe culture, but yeah, the experience is more real than I can put words to, and that's just me. But I'll continue on with the gratitude, but something more real than what I have ever imagined. I give so many thanks for. I am home safe now with my family, under a roof with plenty of good water and food. I am healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually. Well, as best I can anyways. I have a job, money, warm water, warm clothes, a warm bed. I have plenty of people who love me. I love and believe in myself. I give thanks for it all, and I also give thanks to my angel guides that are with me always and continue to guide me. Thank you for all the messages to let me know I'm on the right path, and for allowing and placing things and opportunities on my path for me to have. What's this here? And to also lean into and face. I am grateful for all that is. Aho. Oh, so that's something I do every morning. I used to go down to the beach and just say it within and write it in the sand, but a good mate, Mitch Eggard, that was on the last podcast, really good bloke. Hey, Mitch, how are you, brother? Appreciate all that you do, man. You're a fucking very knowledgeable, and you're just a good person. And I love you very much, bro. he stayed over my joint the night of the podcast, and this is what he does. And I'm like, I'm going to do that more, spend more time with the gratitude, put it onto paper instead of doing it within, just to sort of, I think he brought this up. You spend more time, you know. I was doing it in my phone for a bit, but just a pen, it is really powerful. You take time with it, you think about it. Yeah, observing it coming from an invisible force of thought into physical reality on paper. You can do gratitude, and you can do things letting go. Give it to a fire. Certain things that we do on a retreat with letting go. The way that we do it's very powerful. But yeah, that's something that I do, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But a couple of notes on my phone here that I had this morning that I wanted to share with you guys too was probably have to wrap this up in 10 minutes or so. But yeah, so a couple of thoughts that came in this morning that I thought I'd share with you was that I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to Mitch Curry and Braden Tonks. Mitch Curry's he's a good mate of mine. He's not just a breathwork facilitator; he's an amazing one, but he does many other things. Just want to give thanks, and Braden Tonks from the Tonksy Media podcast. I just want to give thanks to you boys and just show some respect and appreciation for Braden for opening up the space in your podcast, and for Mitch Curry for sharing something, for being so vulnerable and sharing something from, an experience that he's had, a moment that he's lived on his journey, moments that he's lived on his journey. Something it takes a lot of balls to share, about sexual assault and the way that it went down and how hard it would have been to, relive those moments without opening up to it and just living with it with yourself, with being so confused from it. And I can't even imagine what, the things that would have done to your mind for it to replay in your mind. It's not a nice thing, and we don't live in a world that sets it up right to resolve those certain things, unfortunately. Not at the start anyway, not unless you've got someone that's stepping out of line and doing the work, like Mitch Curry and like Braden Tonks. Fucking Braden, he's a fucking legend. Like, both of the boys are legends, obviously, but yeah, Braden is actually a very knowledgeable, and just an authentic bloke. It's the authenticity, it's the knowledge, it's the wisdom, it's the spiritual esche, whatever. He's just himself, and he doesn't give a fuck what people think. And that's what I love about him. And he's on the same path. He's doing the work, just trying to be a better everything, better dad, better bloke. He's sharing awesome shit on social media. And, Mitch, who I'm doing some work with on these retreats, with men and women. I want that to be known, men and women. Yeah, just for being so vulnerable, brother, for being a good bloke, being a good dad, and also doing the work, stepping out of line. And the things that we know about the system, and Braden, that about the system and the way that the world's set up and stuff, and the work that we're doing to wake people up to that bullshit too. So just wanted to give you a shout out for that. Go check Braden out on the Tonksy Media podcast, and go check out Mitch if you want to do some breath work, or you just want to have a chat. He's got wisdom in all areas and knowledge in all areas. So I think it's mitch.curry. I'll try and remember to put that up. Just struggle with fucking time and remembering, obviously. The mind is a wanderer. What else was there? So there's some thoughts on letting go of attachment. I've just sort of spoken into AI what I was thinking, and it's put it into bullet points here. So I don't know how it's set it up. But these are the thoughts anyway that I had. Don't attach to the expectation, the result, or the goal. Obviously, I went through that as a teaching that I got with the medicine, which is a very big one. Just do what you do freely, playfully, like a kid. I think it's important to not get yourself tied into and attached to, those expectations, results of the goal, like the world wants us to. Outcomes, there's a lot that's out of our control. We just got to surrender to what is and get back to that childlike state. Be free, be authentic. There's no greed ever or unevenness with an uncorrupted mind. You got to get back to that childlike state as best as you can. Just be like free as free as possible. What else is there? Let go of all attachments, physical and non-physical. So, anything that causes you suffering, the things that you're feeding in the physical world that aren't good for you, like, substances, fucking porn and screens and all that sort of thing. If it causes you suffering, let it go. And it all starts with a thought. Let it go, and that's the invisible. That's the non-physical side of it. We gotta stop feeding our neurotic thoughts. They're not you. At the end of the day, you're just the one that notices them. So notice them, and then don't. You know what I mean? Just realize. I think it's just in the realization that you're the one that notices them. And it's just something that's floating in front of that just flashlight of awareness, the thing that notices your true self. And that true self, you can build a relationship with it and it goes deeper. Something that, we might talk about on a more deep level that might get Mitch Curry back on the podcast and we might have a bit of a chat about that. What else is there? Got that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So if you're a bit lost and confused in life, I just want to let everyone know, don't be disappointed. It's an opportunity for growth. You're letting go of something old. So just let that process unfold. You can't walk into something new unless you shed the skin of that old, just shed that old skin. And it's uncomfortable, that process. So just be uncomfortable and sit with it and just know that it will pass. Okay. Because I get confused, I get disappointed too, obviously. So the teaching, spoke about it earlier too, is surrender, living life like a jellyfish. There's nothing that we can control except the way that we react to life. Such is life. You're one person that can make conscious decisions, but there's so many, making unconscious ones too, mostly. And there's 8 billion other people in the world making their own shitty decisions and conscious and unconscious that have the biggest part, and this is life, in everything that unfolds in this world. These are all of the things that are out of our control. Like, you can't control other people's choices. You can control your own. That's it. But, you can also share that message with people, that power that they have. That's what you've got to pay for. That's what I'm trying to do here too. Like, just showing people their own power. There's nothing else to it. The work that I do with people, that's all I'm doing. I'm just actually, like Mitch and I are doing as well, and the things that I do everywhere else. We're just opening up space for people to be their true selves, to let things rise, and so they can see what needs to be sorted and see the truth of how things are, and everything comes from within then. So yeah, surrender's a big one. Big teaching that we do. Let go of what you think should happen and just be with what is. That's right. That's just another extension on what I've just said, really. When things rush to the surface, don't resist them. The more you resist, the more it persists. So just welcome it. Just let it be and just let it pass, just like the weather passes the sky. You're the sky, and the clouds are your thoughts and just consciousness, the happenings in life, other people's choices, and the present moment unfolding. Yeah, that's that. It's important to hold space for yourself, guys. Another thought that I had this morning, just wanted to, like, all these things are just important that I think to share. I just want to fucking load yous up, actually. It's probably a bit much, but I don't know, whatever seed hits is in the sweet spot. Good. Holding space for yourself, just hold space for yourself. Your own self can only pick up. your own self is the only thing that can pick up your own self at the end of the day. It's you that saves you. And holding space for yourself will allow you to work on things in a more rapid rate. If you don't, then you just stay stuck, I guess. Other thoughts that I had was, holding a space for yourself. You're sitting with yourself, and sitting with yourself, that's fucking hard. It's really hard. It's not an easy task. So find power in that. Find power in doing something tough, something that most people don't do, because I know that I do. I know that it's tough what I do. And everyone else that does this does the work too. I know that they're tough, and I recognize that in them, and they're the people that I want to hang around because they want better for themselves. That means that they want better for others. Like that, are you, Gino? If you want the world to change, you first must change yourself, and then pay that change yourself forward with others. Whatever it is that you changed. By doing this, you really get to see what's going on under the surface. Letting those things rise with your true self, sitting with your true self, with the thing that notices everything in life, the thing that never changes, the thing that's always present, awareness, the thing that we all have. Beneath it all, we're all the same. That's what we all are. We all notice everything unfold in the present moment. Everything on top of that is ego and the stories. We're all the same. All the same. I want you to realize that consuming is really easy, and it's the easy way out. So that if you're unhappy in life, that's probably why you're consuming too much. If we're not creating, we're creators. If we're not creating, we can get ourselves into a real sticky spot. We're doing a lot of consuming, and it's what most of the world's doing. You know what I mean? The majority is just all in the consuming game, and that's the problem. It's the consuming game that's the problem. We don't need to consume so much. It's okay to consume. Just balance yourself. Be honest with yourself about it. Honesty is key. Blah blah blah. What have we got here? The dark. Okay. Just wanted to talk about something real quick. It's about like I have I want you to know that I create like contracts within myself, and I want you to know that some certain things that I cross paths with, I find that it's contradicts things that I believe in. There's certain contradictions that unfold. Like, for example, I don't believe in killing any life, no matter what life. I won't kill an ant. I won't kill a fly. The fly buzzing around in this morning. I'm like, you fucking, I'm not gonna, but please don't be torturing me throughout this whole podcast. I find it hard enough to concentrate sometimes. But like, I don't believe that, right? That's a contract I have set up within myself. And it's like there's this bit of fine print. There's terms and conditions in my contracts that I have. And I'm just going to be honest about this, just to let you know that it's okay with these certain things, because you make up the rules. I don't believe in taking a life, but the fine print is, and this is a form of true, what I believe to be true love. Like, if there's something that threatens my family or myself, the things and the people that I love, I'm going to do everything that I can to take out that threat. Like, I will take a human life if I was to have to. Hope that never fucking happens in any type of circumstance, but yeah, I absolutely will. So that's the contradiction there. You know what I mean? That's sort of like the fine print. It's obviously not fine print. I'm just sort of speaking about it freely here, but yeah, just wanted to let you know, like, it's okay to come across some certain things that don't make sense, because I think true love, that's a form of the purest type of love at the end of the day, protecting your family and the ones you love from evil, or just, the collective from evil doing the work. So if you come across certain things that confuse you like that, just know that it's okay. Just know the right way at the end of the day, and only you can figure that out. Everything that I share is just things that I share within me. We're all walking our different unique paths. And as long as those paths are good and, you mean well, then keep walking it. If you're not walking a good path and you're there to harm the collective, then I'm coming for you. Oh, seriously. That's pretty much it anyway. I don't think, there's nothing else I got. That's a fucking long podcast. It wasn't supposed to be that long. Anyway, guys, you take it easy. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye now.